What you see here is the world's strictest and largest prison. It houses 40,000 inmates, including some of the most dangerous people in the world. Can you imagine how many lives they've cut short? 5, 10, over 50 years. MS, 13, and other criminal gangs. Violent, ruthless, psychopathic, and sociopathic. Welcome to the world's largest prison in terms of capacity, the El Salvador Mega Prison, built specifically to incarcerate the most dangerous criminals. Those who fall in here are doomed and condemned, never to be released. There's no way out. But why does such a small country of 6 million people need the biggest prison in the world? Since March 2022, under the administration of President Nayib Bukele, a tough fight has been launched against them. In 16 months, more than 70,000 people have been arrested, which is 2% of the country's adult population. Security in the prison is absolute. 19 watchtowers, hundreds of soldiers, CCTV cameras. No one escapes, but even the thought of escape becomes impossible. The prisoner's life is without hope of escape. They rarely give their real name, so their fingerprints and photos are recorded in a database. Prisoners lose contact with their families forever, and visits are forbidden. There are some wrongly convicted prisoners, but their families don't know where they are, or if they are alive. There is no escape attempt in this. Prison.it is designed to eliminate any possibility of escape. Electric fences, good walls, separate water and electricity systems. In general. Sacote means counter-terrorism center in Spanish. The $115 million prison opened in February 2023 in an isolated rural area 70 kilometers east of the capital San Salvador. President Nayib Bukele claims it is the largest prison in Latin America, with capacity for 40,000 inmates. Calling himself the world's toughest dictator, Bukele declared a state of emergency in March 2022, which is still in force today. They include alleged members of the Salvadoran group Mara Salvatrucha, also known as MS-13, and its rival Barrio 18. In August 2024, Sacote had a prison population of 14,500, but in March 2025, a government spokesman said that this statistic was outdated. The current figure is not disclosed for security reasons. During a visit by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in February 2025, Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele proposed that criminals deported from the United States be incarcerated. In this megaprison, the Trump administration deported 261 men to El Salvador on 15 March. For 137 of them, the U.S. government justified the move under the Foreign Enemies Act of 1798, saying the men were members of the Venezuelan Tren de Aragua gang, but providing few details about their cases. Officials said many of those 137 people have no criminal records in the U.S. but still pose a serious threat. Those people, along with 101 Venezuelans, were sent to Sacote for a year, which can be extended, Bukele said. The U.S. government paid El Salvador about $6 million to receive the deportees. The White House said, "What are the conditions in Sacote prison? There are no outdoor recreational facilities in the prison, and family visits are not allowed." The prison consists of 8 buildings, each with 32 huge cells of about 100 square meters, housing more than 100 prisoners. There are only 2 sinks and 2 toilets in each cell. The lighting in the cells and block is never switched off, and the menu never changes. Prisoners eat with their hands and wear only white shorts, a t-shirt and plastic flip-flops. Their heads are shaved every 5 days. A September 2024 report by the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights said that prisoners had an average of 0.60 square meters of space per inmate. Below international standards, Sacote in El Salvador has attracted worldwide attention, both positive and negative. Argentine Security Minister Patricia Bullrich praised the institution, and a delegation of the U.S. Republican Party from the House of Representatives, led by then Representative Matt Gaetz, visited the prison a month later. Many human rights organizations have criticized El Salvador's prisons, and especially Sacote. Groups have reported alleged human rights violations such as torture, deaths of prisoners, and mass trials. In August 2024, Bukele stated that gang members will spend their entire lives in prison. Justice Minister Gustavo Villatoro vowed in 2023 that officials would make sure that no one who enters Secot ever leaves on foot. The deportation of illegal aliens from the U.S. specifically to Secot has caused scandals. Relatives of some deportees assure that their relatives were not criminals and should not be held with terrorists and criminals. And Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro condemned what he called the kidnapping of Venezuelan migrants sent to El Salvador. Thus, among those deported were a singer from Venezuela who wanted to obtain U.S. citizenship and a hairdresser from Texas. Cells, overcrowding, and humiliation. Each unit holds about 2,500 prisoners. A cell designed for 80 people can hold up to 150. Prisoners have no personal space. They have only 0.5 square meters per person. There is no ventilation in the cells, and no possibility to go out for fresh air. They will never see sunlight. The only people who can get in and out are the staff and sometimes the media. A guard told us, toilet facilities in the cells are shared, 2 toilets for 80 people. They also take showers there, using plastic buckets. There is no water, only 1 barrel for everyone. They sleep on metal bunks without mattresses or pillows, tightly pressed together like cargo in a warehouse. The tattoos on their bodies speak volumes. MS 13 gang members were the number 13. Barrio 18 is the number 18, or 666. Those with facial tattoos are the most violent criminals. Spider webs mean the person is caught in the web of justice. A tattoo of drops of blood indicates the number of lives he has taken. If there are 3 drops, it means there have been so many that he has lost count. Food and punishments. Prisoners get the same 3 meals a day: beans, rice, pasta, and tortillas. There is no protein food, meat, chicken. They eat with their hands and wash their own dishes. If you break the rules, you are sent to the punishment cells, isolation cells. There are no windows. The bed is just a concrete floor. A person does not know how many days or weeks he will spend here. The only water is in a small tank next to the toilet. This prison is a place you can't get out of. Here the prisoners become shadows, devoid of hope. They don't see the sun. They don't communicate with their families. Their lives are governed by strict rules. Once violent criminals who used to terrorize the streets. Now they can't make a single step without the guard's permission. They are trapped within 4 walls for the rest of their lives. It's not just a prison, it's the end of the road. Secot has twice the total population of the Marmara prison campus in Istanbul, Turkey, making Secot the largest prison in the world in terms of total capacity. Separate from the main modules are the solitary confinement, carcer corridors. The punishment cells have only a concrete slab for sleeping, a toilet and a sink for washing. There is no artificial light, except for a small hole in the ceiling, and guards can observe prisoners through a small window in the door. Prisoners can be held in solitary confinement for up to 15 days. The prisoners' meals consist of the same menu every day, 3 times a day. For breakfast, rice, beans, cream, and tortillas. For lunch and dinner, white rice, pasta, and tortillas. Hard-boiled eggs 3 times a week. Pastries twice a week. And with each meal, an alternating beverage such as coffee or a sweet drink. Prisoners are forced to eat with their hands, as guards consider forks and knives as potential weapons by the guards. Food is served in individual plastic containers, which prisoners must wash after eating. Prisoners wear a uniform consisting of a shirt, shorts, and white-colored plastic shoes. Prisoners also receive a sheet, a towel, and a pair of socks, as well as toiletries. Their heads are shaved every 5 days. Prisoners are only allowed to leave their cells for 30 minutes a day for exercise. They can also work in the prison's cloth factory. Each cell has 2 Bibles allowed for reading. Prisoners are forbidden all contact with the outside world, including family visits and phone calls. In case of new charges, the prisoner is taken to a separate room, where he can talk to his lawyer via video, link, or watch a court hearing. The prison is guarded by 1,000 guards, 600 soldiers, and 250 police officers. At maximum capacity, there are 40 prisoners per guard. There are 19 guard towers, 7 on the perimeter and 12 inside, with 7 soldiers in each. In the interests of the guards' welfare, the facility has recreation facilities, recreation areas with ping-pong tables, bathrooms, lockers, and a gym for guards and police officers. June 1st, 2023, Bukele announced that he would build a prison, similar to Sekot, but for white-collar workers as part of a war on corruption. Bukele announced that he would build a prison, similar to Sekot, but for white-collar workers. Bukele stated that the prison would be called Corruption Apprehension Center, CCOC.